That was the last track for the record. We had the 10 songs that were already on it, and we felt like we needed one more thing. And I had been inspired by meeting a fan. I was writing a record about, or several songs about this town in South Dakota I was really inspired by, called Lead, South Dakota. And I was telling a fan one night in Phoenix, Arizona, of all places, that I was really obsessed with this town, and I was writing some stuff about it. And this guy standing right behind the guy I was talking to went, my grandfather was born in Lead, South Dakota. I was like, no, he wasn't. It's a town of 10,000 people. It's not possible, And he's like, no, he was. I'm actually having lunch with him tomorrow. I said, here's my information. If that's true, let me know. And the next day he got in touch with me and said, man, my grandfather was born in a cave in Lead, South Dakota in the early 1900s.
Wow.
And then I asked his grandfather if he would be okay with writing me the story of how they got to Lead and how they left Lead and what his story was. And this grandfather wrote me this 4-page, like really long, small font biography of his childhood and his life. And there was a really great moment, and he was telling me about the story of it, and where his father had to move to Oregon to join the timber industry because the gold mine had dried up in Lead, and his 13-year-old brother had to drive the family across the country from South Dakota to Oregon. And I just started kind of putting the pieces together of, I want to write something based on this man's life and his experience being here. And so I kind of took the perspective of from a woman's perspective of the wife and mother of these kids, and the dad is going down into the gold mine every day, and it's just kind of tearing them up, and the health concerns. And I found some parallels in that with going on tour and leaving my family, and felt like there were just some similarities there. So yeah, that song sort of takes place in the early 1900s.
Wow.